Promos really gonna get real fast? I don't know. There's only one way to check it out, and that's to wrestle it. So, man, you already know what it is. If we gonna wrestle it, you gonna have to ring the bell. Ring the bell. Hey, and straight up, if we got any snowflakes in here that don't like to be wrestling stuff, I got a message for you. This is a snowflake-free zone. Here's your message. What you are about to hear are opinions of Deathmare. Deathmare is a trained and professional opinionator. These views and opinions should not be attempted to say or give at school, work, on the playground, or even at home. Please don't try this at home. You hear me? Don't be trying this at home. I ain't even home right now. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I'm just playing. I'm home, but you ain't in my home. Because I'm at the mayor layer. This is where I stay. Anyway, the videos we are going to get into today, shoot, man, we got to find out if these promos really get real fast or if not. We gonna wrestle it. We already rung the bell. So, just like a Hollywood actor at the steroid factory, man, let's get into it.
10 WWE promos that got real fast. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Number 10, Jeff Jarrett angers Stone Cold Steve Austin. When Jeff Jarrett returned to WWE, in 1997, he was promised a feud with WWE's resident top star Stone Cold Steve Austin. To plant the seeds for this eventual feud, WWE had Jarrett cut a short promo directed towards Austin on Raw, where he declared, "Now here's a guy who's lowered himself to shaving his head and coming out here every week, not once or twice, but 10 or 15 times, and saying the word ass. That's right, saying the word ass just to get a reaction, just to get noticed. Stone Cold, you will always be the ringmaster, and as far as your blasphemous merchandise, that offends me. Austin 316 offends me because what you're doing is ripping off the Bible to put money in your pockets. These comments enraged Austin, who had zero idea what Jarrett was gonna say. Austin would immediately confront Jarrett, and Austin would...
Hey, you know what though? Double J, you right. Look, and I understand that upset Stone Cold. He finally got his break and saved a whole company from going out of business. But man, if you're gonna have a moniker like that, you should expect someone to call you out on it. Especially in an angle during the Attitude Era where everything was, based in reality. Shoot, if anything, this was Stone Cold's opportunity to speak his mind on it, But I guess Austin 316 says, "Come here, son. Talk to me in the locker room. Let me politic." What?
Was so annoyed that he ordered Vince Russo to never directly book him in a match against Jarrett ever in the promotion. Number 9, Paul Heyman buries Vince McMahon to his face. Paul Heyman has had so many memorable promos throughout his career, yet one promo in 2001 was completely unscripted, and Heyman pushed boundaries with a groundbreaking promo. Heyman cut a promo on former WWE Chairman Vince McMahon leading up to the Survivor Series event in 2001, and McMahon didn't give Heyman any direct instructions other than to draw him money. Heyman's shoot promo contains such lines as, "Your father shook the hand of every promoter in this country and swore to them that he'd never compete against them, that his son would never compete against them. And when your father died, you competed. And with your ruthless, merciless, take no prisoners attitude, you drove everybody out of the business, didn't you, Vince? You ran all the competition to the ground and stole all their ideas, and you made yourself a billionaire out of it. You know whose idea you..."
Wow. Viewer Mares. So, with that being said, man, I got something to say about that. Number one, I've watched that promo in its entirety. Look, man, it ain't... Wrestling had so many casual fans watching at that point in time that the majority of the audience, even in live attendance, didn't have a clue what Paul Heyman was talking about. Nowadays, if that happened on TV, where wrestling nowadays only caters towards the smart marks and the already diehard wrestling fans, sure, it would be impactful, but, is that really what you want to do? You know what I'm saying? Because AEW does that stuff all the time, and it's just annoying, You can't do a shoot promo all the time. But in my opinion, we wrestled the Jeff Jarrett promo. That really did get real fast. This promo with Heyman, dude, Heyman did more shoot promos, especially the one involving TNN and ECW, that just blow this one out of the water. So, and plus it's tied to the Invasion storyline, and that thing sucked. if I was a cognitive 30-year-old or whatever around the time of the invasion, I'm sure it would have made me stop watching wrestling. How dirty they did everyone. And just how stupid it was. Like, you had Chronic from WCW, and all you did with them is fire them. Probably because Undertaker was, politicking, but whatever, man. Okay, 2 down. Let's keep going.
Stole the most, Vince? You stole mine. Speaking about the iconic shoot promo and appearance with Inside the Ropes, the WWE Hall of Famer stated, "To his credit, I'll give him a ton of credit. I went up to Vince halfway through the day and said, 'Do you even know some of the shots I'm going to say to you?' And he goes, 'Nope, draw me money.' 'Okay. Are you going to say anything back to me?' 'Nope, just draw me money.'" Number 8, Paige goes too far. Charlotte Flair's brother Reed passed away in 2013, and just 2 years later, WWE decided to use the tragic passing in a storyline. On the November 16, 2015 edition of Raw, a contract signing took place between Charlotte Flair and Paige, and during the segment, Charlotte would state that she was going to pay tribute to Reed in the upcoming pay-per-view match. And virtually out of nowhere, Paige declared, "Your little baby brother, he didn't have much fight in him, did he?" This line received immediate backlash, as it was tasteless and disgusting. It was rumored online that WWE hadn't asked the Flair family for permission to use.
Because here's what happened. Vince McMahon was in charge, right? And he wanted to take a dig at Ric Flair. That's all that was. He wanted to throw his power and weight around on Ric. So say what you want about Ric Flair, whatever his real name is, whatever. So someone like Vince McMahon who holds grudges silently is going to use his power and pettiness and weight and throw it around on you. That's what that was. So yeah, this promo right here, oh, it definitely got real fast. I remember watching this promo. And when Paige said that to Charlotte, I had no idea what she was talking about. Not one time was the storyline or anything based or had anything to do with her dead brother. So, but we see what the real Vince McMahon is like, right? And I'm sure all you viewer mares out there have bosses just like it. I'm sure my boss is watching this right now. But New Year, same me. I ain't changing for no one in this world. So, just like Triple H at a politician convention, let's keep going. Whoops.
Use Reed's name in this manner. The insensitive comment led to no surge in interest in the storyline. It just turned people away from the storyline completely. WWE offended the Flair family in attempts to generate buzz in a story, and it backfired, rightly so. Number 7, Ric Flair changes everything. In 2004, Ric Flair cut a promo that was so wild that it forced Vince McMahon to become more hands-on with promos.
Wow. Okay. So, keeping up with the Vince McMahon-Ric Flair rivalry, I guess we're going to find out some more. Hey, but you wanna know what though? Props to the old Nature Boy, for standing on biscuits. You know what I'm saying?
Flair was cutting a promo on Randy Orton that was supposed to promote their upcoming pay-per-view match. However, Flair went completely off the rails and began to talk about his real-life experiences with virgins. Quite rightly, McMahon wasn't happy,
Wow.
and this was the turning point for McMahon, and this is where his micromanagement style was born. Speaking on ad-free shows, former head writer for WWE Brian Gewirtz discussed the infamous promo. There might have been an incident in Madison Square Garden once when Ric Flair went off script that Vince got a little heated about what he said and said, "Damn it, from then on, I need to know what every single talent is going to be saying going out there." That was in Madison Square Garden with lots of corporate sponsors, and when he said that he has made virgins bleed, there was a noticeable shift in the amount of approval process growing from that point. Number 6, Sunny Days. It's well documented that Bret Hart...
So, okay. Now that we've wrestled that Ric Flair promo, I mean, I gotta hand it to Vince. You know? There's just certain things you don't say, and if you're gonna say it, the story has to be in context. You know?
Michaels weren't exactly the best of friends in the 90s, and in 1997, HBK took things a step too far. During a promo battle between the two on Raw, HBK made a reference to Hart's sex life before stating that Hart had been seeing a lot of sunny days recently. This was playing to the rumor that Hart and Sunny were having an affair. Hart was livid with HBK, and Hart would later confront him backstage, which seemed like a common theme during the respective time. Whilst WWE were prone to pushing the boundaries during this era, there were lines that talent shouldn't cross, and this was definitely the case here. Number 5, Pipe Bomb.
Okay, look, man, I gotta be honest. The promos between Shawn and Bret, it seemed like Bret could say any and everything, but whenever it was Shawn's turn, it just seemed like Bret couldn't take what he was dishing out. I mean, the Montreal Screwjob was a work anyway, whatever. But as a Bret Hart fan, like, man, some people, as great as they are just too insecure and emotional. And they're usually the ones that always constantly say that they're not.
CM Punk changed the rest cut the Pipe Bomb promo in 2011. The promo became a staple of the pro wrestling industry and has drastically altered the way pro wrestlers cut promos over the past 13 years. There are a ton of urban legends.
I disagree with that. The only thing CM Punk did was add reality into the fictional world of pro wrestling. That's what the Attitude Era was. Now, when Vince Russo left WWE, WF, it wasn't that anymore. This is why CM Punk was so loved, because the way he did things was very Attitude Era-esque. And honestly, the Attitude Era was basically a combination of, like, old school Southern storylines based in reality, mixed with a reflection of society in the 90s, and taking ideas from ECW and Jerry Springer. So, and that's kind of what CM Punk was. In his Ring of Honor days, the Summer of Punk, and then with the Straight Edge Society, and then the Summer of Punk in 2011.
Legends surrounding the promo. Some believe that the promo was unscripted, while some...
So did CM Punk change wrestling, or did he just bring those missing elements, back until he was stopped eventually?
I believe that Vince McMahon would never allow Punk to cut a promo of this nature without knowing the content ahead of time. Well, the truth is that, according to Punk at least, he gave McMahon an outline, and Punk proceeded to ignore everything that was approved on this outline. In the promo, Punk would mention taboo topics such as Ring of Honor, Paul Heyman, Brock Lesnar, Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, and even McMahon dying. Whilst the content of this promo was controversial and extremely real, it was the exact promo that WWE needed at the time, as it led to a mass surge in interest in their product. Number 4, Xavier Woods is livid. Even though the WWE draft is one of the most exciting nights of the year for fans, the same can't be said for the talent. Friends are often separated, and the WWE has been prone to splitting up established tag teams. During the 2019 Superstar Shakeup, Xavier Woods was frustrated that several of the names that were key parts of his Up Down Down YouTube channel were moved to the opposite show. This made working on the channel extremely difficult, and the next time Woods appeared on TV, he began to shoot on the outcome of the shakeup during his promo. Honestly, on top of that, with all this Superstar Shakeup nonsense, Raw took like 80% of the Up Down Down roster, and what am I supposed to do? I'm trying to make a successful YouTube channel. They're taking everybody from me, and honestly, if I don't see Tyler Breeze on SmackDown by the end of the show, I would lose my mind. Number 3, John Cena goes low. Due to their star power, WWE...
Not sure how I feel about that one. Okay, viewer mirrors, this one's going to be a hard one to wrestle. Nevertheless, of agreeing with it or not, did that get real fast? Yes. I do agree with that. The company puts this extra stuff onto you, and you're helping them generate more numbers on social media platforms, and then they take it away from you. Well, then that becomes a reflection of your job performance. So yeah.
Thankfully gave John Cena and The Rock a ton of leeway in terms of their promo work in 2012. The two were building towards one of the biggest matches in pro wrestling history, so it was vital that the feud felt real and organic. Cena during the feud ditched a lot of the PG elements of his character, and Cena reminded the entire world just how good he was on the mic. During a promo exchange between the two, it was apparent that The Rock had notes written on his wrist, and Cena decided to do the unthinkable. Cena came to the ring and outright called The Rock out for having his promo written on his wrist.
I don't need words like respect and loyalty to Trent worldwide, just like I don't need my notes for my promo on my wrist.
According to Cena, this wasn't initially in his promo plans. However, a certain name backstage tipped him off regarding The Rock's wrist, and at the time, Cena believed he was fully justified in calling the Great One out. Number 2, Roman Reigns finally...
That got real fast, yes. But two things here, okay, viewer mares. Number 1, The Rock comes back to wrestling and does one storyline, one match. Are you really going to squander that opportunity? The other way of looking at it is, this is The Rock. He's destroyed wrestlers' careers with just one promo. So you really got to give it all, right? But it did get real fast.
Claps back. During Roman Reigns' rather unsurprising run as a babyface, the crowd often gave him a tough time. And due to him being the top babyface in the company, they booked him to just ignore the negative response. However, in 2016, Reigns snapped on the crowd in an unscripted real-life moment that acted as a prelude to his heel persona that would come just 4 years later. This took place during a promo segment between Reigns and Dean Ambrose, and when the fans began to chant that Reigns couldn't wrestle, it clearly hit a nerve, as Reigns clapped back by saying, "For all the dudes chanting that I can't wrestle, calm down, relax, take a sip of your beer, and shut your mouth." And number 1, tell everyone who chose you. Well, the work between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre has been incredible on TV.
Okay. Yeah, that Roman one got real fast. And look, bro, like, even when Roman was going through all that, like, it's just, you have some great people, and the creativity is just not up to par with how great the wrestlers are, right? You can look through history in this company, bro. You have Diesel. He's a prime example. Roman Reigns, another example. Heck, Dean Ambrose is a good example. It was better than what he's doing in AEW, but that's a different story. And I mean, hey, let's be honest. Roman should have been the one to end the streak of The Undertaker at WrestleMania. If it was going to be, broken, it should have been Roman. But I don't even want to talk about that. This one right here coming up, bro. Hey, fire. And I agree with this one too. That got real fast. This is an ongoing thing.
TV, as both men have consistently gone in for the kill and refused to hold anything back. On one particular Raw during the road to WrestleMania 40, McIntyre was talking about his time as the chosen one, and Punk responded in a clearly unscripted remark by saying, "Tell everyone who chose you, say his name if you have the balls." Now, both men were referencing Vince McMahon, and due to there being a blanket ban on mentioning McMahon on TV, Punk knew he had put McIntyre in a difficult position. McIntyre handled it well as he just smirked and moved on. This was one of the first times that McMahon had been indirectly mentioned on TV since he was virtually blacklisted from the company, and instances of this nature are going to be less frequent as years go on. But there you have it, folks. 10 WWE promos that got real fast. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.
Hey, let's give a hand to WrestleMania for absolutely putting out another top tier banger of a video, bro. Shout out to WrestleMania. He's a real one. Go over to his channel, subscribe, like all the videos, share all his videos to your grandmama. Whatever you have to do, show support to WrestleMania, bro. So, viewer mares, like, do you agree? Were those really real? And did it get real fast? What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. But as for me, your boy, Deathmare, all I got to say is we wrestled it. So, win, lose, or draw, the match is over, man. Ring the bell. Go. Work life.